Okay, good morning everyone. So did you enjoy your children's play? I appreciate Alex that our children extremely shy. So to make them stand here, sing, play, I will appreciate Joy and the Ryan. So people who made it, I will appreciate it. So give thanks to them after service when you meet them. Okay, today we'll talk about Book of Ruth, and there are only two books in the whole Bible that followed by a woman's name. What are they, right? One of them was the Book of Ruth that we'll see today, and the other one is the Book of Esther. So kinds of an important book that named by a woman's name. And that if you see Ruth's order in the book of Bible, it's between the Judges and 1st and 2nd Samuel. So Old Testament, for the first 5 books, and Joshua and Judges, and there's Ruth, right before 1st and 2nd Samuel and Kings and Chronicles. And you know why Ruth located before Samuel, right? Ruth as an individual, she is very important, but there's another historical importance in Ruth. What is it? She is great-grandmother of David, the greatest king of Israel. So book of Samuel actually is not about Samuel, it's about David. Before David appeared in history, they wanted to explain about his family tree, about who was David's ancestors. So before book of Samuel, before David coming to the history, there's a book of Ruth, explain who was David's ancestors, and Ruth was one of them. So Ruth married Boaz, and Boaz was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse, and Jesse was the father of David. So Ruth was a great-grandmother of David. And if you see book of Matthew, chapter 1, there's a Jesus genealogy. And there are 4 women in Jesus' family tree, and Ruth was one of them. So not only the great-grandmother of the greatest king of Israel, David, but as one of the important 4 women in Jesus' family tree, Ruth here. And she is a very important figure as historically because of this. Maybe if she was not there, if she didn't marry the Boaz, David was not born, maybe we don't have a Jesus, the physical genealogy in our Bible. So Ruth is very important there. And also her personal importance, the confession that we can see today, very popular passage when Naomi tried to send away the Ruth. She answered, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." You know all this, famous passage, right? Famous confession. When I studied Old Testament, some of my friends who's non-Christian, they came to me and they asked me, "Why do you read some other people's history? Why don't you read the Korean history? Why don't you study Korean history? Why do you read the Jewish history?" Right? The Old Testament was a Jewish historical book. So they told me, instead of us study history of some other people, read your own history, your own ancestor. Don't read other people's ancestors' book about Old Testament. So for this question, some people ask it, right? But this question, Ruth give an explanation. Ruth give an answer in today's passage. Ruth says, "I'm not Jews, but your God will be my God. Your people will be my people." And I believe that's all, the Christian's confession. We're not Jews. And God of Israel is God of Israel. But we confess, God of Israel is my God. And their ancestor, Abraham is a Jewish ancestor, but we say Abraham is my ancestor. Their people, my people. Their Holy Bible is my Holy Bible. Their God is my God. That was a Ruth's confession through her life. And that all give us, the good explanation why we read the Old Testament, why we read the Jewish book. Because it's not only their book, but also our book, our history about our ancestor and about our God. So Ruth, there are in many ways very important book and in many different ways. And today's story, as you know, in the beginning of Ruth, you all know the story, right? There was a Naomi, and she had her husband and 2 sons. She was a Jew, but she moved to the Moab. And then Moab during the famine, and she lost her husband, she lost her 2 sons, and then only her 2 daughter-in-laws married to her 2 sons. And what were their name? One of them, Ruth. What was the other one's name? Anybody remember? We have Oprah means show, right? So Oprah means her name. The other one is Oprah, and actually that name, the Oprah's name, comes from her name. So two daughters' name, there was Oprah and Ruth. So when two sons died, actually Naomi was a nice woman. So she tried to send away two daughters because there's no reason these two daughters follow her and have a difficult time in their life. So, in the chapter 1, Naomi told the two daughters, go away to your people. There's no hope if you follow me. Do you know how they answered in the beginning, first time? Both of them, Orpah and Ruth, said, no, we'll follow you. I think when I read it, it's like a Korean culture. I mean, when somebody gives you a good offer, even if you like it, you cannot say, thank you, right? Oh, it's too much. You don't have to do it. I'm okay. You go to a restaurant with somebody and then should I buy or should I pay only or everybody? And then you're just about to pay and the others say, I'm going to pay. And then what are you going to say? Just thank you? You say, oh, it's okay. I can pay for me. Or I can pay for everybody. Just good courtesy. You can show it. And I believe that's what they did. Orpah and Ruth, both of them, when their mother-in-law said, go away, your people, now you don't have to waste your life. Maybe Orpah in her heart, I want to go back. I want to marry again with a new man. I want to start new life again. Maybe she should have thought that way. But both of them said the first time, no, we'll follow you. And Naomi said, no, you shouldn't follow me. There's no hope if you follow me. Even if I have another sons later, how can you wait those sons to grow up to be your husband again? So just go back. So again, there, when you go to a restaurant, somebody says, I'll pay, and you say, no, I'll pay, but if that person shows strong comment, no, I'll buy your lunch today. Then you say, oh, if you think so, okay, thank you, and then you put it back, right? That's what happened to Orpah. Orpah, when she heard, all right, if you say so, then I will go back. So, the Orpah went back to her people. But as you know, Ruth, she didn't answer that way. As you read it today, she showed a stronger commitment. No, mom, don't tell me to go back to my people. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. If you leave you other than reason of death, God will ever so deal with me. So Ruth showed a strong commitment. I think to both of Orpah and Ruth, it was a moment of a life decision. Depending on their answer, okay, I'll follow you. Next to 30 years, 40 years, they will live as a widow, just supporting an old woman. Or if they said, okay, thank you, I'll go back to my country, my people, maybe they can live a whole new life. It's a moment of a life decision. And they had to make choice. And we all experience a similar thing, right? Sometimes the important choice in your life, you make it. Maybe Orpah's heart, she was hesitant. Should I say yes, accept it, or not? Maybe Ruth had the same thing. But how could Ruth make this strong commitment, strong choice in her life? And eventually, her choice was right? You all know that she is the origin of a Cinderella story. So Cinderella's story comes from book of Ruth because Ruth was a very poor woman, and eventually she met the rich guy Boaz, and she will marry him again. So her decision was right historically, but at that time, personally, there's no guarantee that her decision was right or wrong. In fact, to the other people, Orpah's decision looked right, while Ruth's decision was a decision that ruined her whole life for the next 30 years or 40 years. So, problem is choice. What choice you make? Did you make any important choice in your life recently? When was the last time you made the important choice? Do you remember? For me, actually, there was one moment that I had to make kinds of important choice 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, as you know, that I was not here, right? Every April, I have a conference, so National Korean Pastors United Methodist Church Conference. So this year it was in New York. So I went to the New York Monday to Thursday. So I was there, and when I go to conference, you know me, right? I'm not that loyal to the conference and all the programs. During daytime, I be usually at the worship in the morning and evening, but during daytime or workshop or seminar program, I just disappear. I slipped away, and I go out to the town near the hotel or conference center. I just had fun. 2 years ago, they had a conference in New York. I went out to downtown, Times Square, and Manhattan, and I watched the Broadway show. And I really loved it. And I made a decision that every time I come back to New York, I go to watch a Broadway show. That was my kind of personal commitment. Unfortunately, this time after 2 years, they had a conference again at the New York. So it was Long Island at this time. It was 2 hours away from Manhattan. But through the train, I went to again during the daytime, missing all the programs, and went there to watch the Broadway show again. The problem was the rumor spread out. People knew it. Justin disappeared during program. They knew it. And then some rumor spread the wrong way. It spread out and he had a fun. So this time the 5 pastors, they followed me. They're all the pastors. They're all the 5 fellows. They followed me. It ruined my freedom, right? I just wanted to go hang around by myself, have a fun. But these 5 pastors said, "Hey, where you go? We know where you go. Can you go with you?" So they joined me. So it's not fun trip anymore. I have responsibility. I become a guide of these 5 older pastors, and they knew that where I was going, Broadway show. Some of them never watched it, but they heard it's good. And pastor, it's a good investment. It's a big investment, like $80, $100 for one Broadway show. But they heard it was really good. So some of them, it was their first time in their life to watch the Broadway show. Maybe it might be their last time. But they followed me. So I went there. I was grumbling that why these guys follow me. And there was heavy rain. We were we were wet. And then we went to the Times Square to get the ticket. There's a long line. And these older people don't want to make the line, right? You go away and then buy the 6 ticket for us. And they're all waiting outside. So I was in the line in the rain. I was keep grumbling. What am I doing? That this is the worst trip ever. And after 30 minutes on the line, at last I went to the desk, and there was no ticket. There's no ticket that I wanted. And, there was all other ticket for some show that I don't know, but I was targeting to watch couple Broadway show, but all ticket was gone. And then I called them, "Oh, pastors, there's no ticket." And these older people say, "You have all right. Buy it for us. Whatever you make decision, we watch your decision, your choice." So I was $500 on my shoulder. I supposed to buy this, the 6 ticket. And I don't no idea what Broadway show I should watch it. I should choose it. And I was thinking that these older people, I wanted to treat them well. These older people came with me this whole 2-hour trip in the rain, believing that my choice is right, and try to watch this Broadway show. As I say again, it might be their first time or last time. And I have no idea what I choose. So I look back at the woman that behind me. And then, by the way, the long line, desk, keep asking, "Make decision right now. What do you want to buy?" So I look back at the woman there and I ask her, "What are you going to watch?" And she said, "I'm going to watch between Violet or Les Miserables." So she said this 2-1. So it was a moment of a decision. I had to choose Violet, Les Miserables. This is what she's going to watch, so maybe be good. She might be local, that she knows what's good. So I was like, Violet 6 ticket. No, Les Miserables 6 ticket. No, Violet 6 ticket. I was like this. Guess what? What would I choose? You know me, right? You know my character. At that moment, heavy rain, that all the pastors behind me, they're waiting, the $500 decision. And it might be their last chance to watch the Broadway show. They had to make decision. Violet, Les Miserables, Violet, Les Miserables. What? So let's guess. If I made a Violet, raise your hand. If I made a Les Miserables, raise your hand. Oh my gosh, you all don't know me. I've been pastoring you 4 years and then you don't know who I was? Why did you think that Les Miserables? I'm the one who's challenging, not being the choose of familiar. So the Les Miserables, I knew it's a classic, but we all watched the movie, right? We all know the story. So I thought we should change something. We never watched it. This is an $80 decision. If I choose something we watched already, maybe they wouldn't like it. So Les Miserables, Violet. I purchased a 6 ticket for Violet. Was the consequence? Miserable failure, right? I'm not saying that Violet is a bad one. It's very good drama. But problem is, it's a complicated story. There's a girl who was injured when she was young. Her trip for the healing and reconciliation. And in the show, she keep going back to her past. So little girl, older girl, they just come out together. Her memory, and all these older Korean pastors couldn't understand at all what's the story going on. it was totally torturing them. They were like 1.5 hours, they couldn't follow the story. There was and then there was and then there was, they paid already $100, they couldn't, we cancel it, and then they will look at me with that old, grumbling eyes, and they cannot say anything because they told me to make decision, but why did the guy make this decision, right? And that night, when I went back to hotel, I regret like 100 times. God, why didn't you help me to right decision to help these older pastors? Why did I make choice for the violent? What have I done? It was really bad. I still regret it. When I got this poster, I just found the poster in the Google image, and it reminded me again, oh my gosh, my bad choice. Still bad. It really tortured me. I tortured them. It was a wrong choice. That evening, I was keep thinking, why did I choose Violet instead of Les Miserables? And what was the answer? Because I am Violet type person. It was not the moment, it was not the decision that I made at that moment. I have lived life that way. Maybe. Why did I make the big failure one day? Because it was not just the failure of that day. Every conference, when I slowly escape from the conference, slip away, go out to trip, maybe this moment was expected. You know what I'm saying? So if you drive, keep fast. You're still okay. You're not being caught. You're not being pulled over. But there's some moment you'll be caught. You'll be pulled over, right? So what I'm saying is it's expected. Every time I skipped the program and then made this trip, it was expected that some moment people go with me and I disappoint them. I made a great failure, and that moment just came. I was more like a challenging, not stable, secured way, and all my character, all the small decisions that I made in my life, challenging, more secure, stable. What should I make? Maybe every moment in my life, I keep making this choice. And that character, who I was, made me that choice at that time. The Orpah and Ruth made a decision about their life. Was it just a one moment decision? Maybe Orpah just made, should I follow this mom or not? You will decide my life. It was just a wrong choice or right choice at that moment. I don't think so. She has lived it that way. She has made all small minor decisions in her life in that way. Between choice A and B, she always made an A choice. And that character, that life, accumulated, followed her, and at last it made her that choice. And Ruth lived the B-type life, and that different type of life, and she made all small minor decisions in her life, and they made her make that decision. So in today's passage, when Boaz, told to Ruth, he said like this: I've been told, I heard all about what you have done. It's not just about one moment. All the things what you have done and how you have lived the whole life. And he also saying like this: may the Lord repay you for all you have done. What you have done. There's no right or wrong choice at that moment. You don't have to be too sad for one time wrong decision, or you don't have to be proud of a one time right decision, because God doesn't look at you that way. God look at our life. Every moment, every day, the decision we have made, the decision that to be faithful, decision to be too loyal, decision to come to the Bible study, decision to come to the worship, decision to love the other people, decision to serve the other people, decision to sacrifice. Every minor, small moment you made it, that build up who you are. Whenever you sacrificed for other people, whenever you give a good choice to other people first, you repeat it again and again, it builds up who you are. And at last, at the important moment of your life, you make the decision of life and death, or decision of your life, and make a choice of a life. You're supposed to make that decision. Ruth had lived that life. Not because of that moment decision. Whole her life, she was loyal, sacrificing, and the faithful to her mother and to her mother's people. That whole life made her decision. At that moment, she was asked by her mother-in-law. And maybe Orpah was not. How's your life? It's not just a one-time life decision. There's nothing like that. How you have lived every day of your life, build up who you are. And God look at who you are, how you have lived. And as Boaz said, if you have lived every day with your sacrifice and with your faith and your sincerity to God, may the Lord repay you for what you have done, how you have lived, And that is our life as a disciple of Jesus Christ. Let us pray. Thank you for all the things, everything in our life, Lord. Every turn, every small turn or big turn of our life, God was there, helped us to build up who we are, Lord. In your mercy and grace, we are here, standing here in your presence proudly, because we decided to stay here. We decided to worship God. We decided part of a faithful community. We made that decision in many times in our life, and that made us here stay in your holy presence. Let us continue to make right decision. Whether there's a good consequence, result, or appreciation from other people or not, every small decision, if we can make in your faith, let us make it and be a true disciple of Jesus Christ, not just by one moment or through our whole life. In your name we pray, amen.